I'm not very good at talking and doing my makeup typically, but I'm gonna try it this time. Let's see how I do, but I feel like I need to keep myself busy as I talk about what I want to talk about. My makeup's already done, but I'm gonna fix it up a little bit. Life has been exhausting, and not in the exhausting way of busyness and a packed schedule, being all over the place, not really getting rest, proper rest, eating enough. None of those reasons. It's exhausting in the way of nothing happening. Absolutely nothing is happening for me right now, and it's making me a little crazy. It's making me feel a lot of things, actually. The biggest thing I get from it is wanting to improve myself. There's a lot of different things I need to improve within myself, and I feel like ever since moving back to Connecticut, all the things I was working on have gone to the wayside. I would say a bit up, working up to the move back, but I just more so attribute that to moving. But being here, I just attribute it to low morale. I don't feel very positive. I don't feel very motivated. I don't feel motivated at all. I don't feel happy. And I'm not surprised that I'm not happy per se, but I'm surprised my environment is causing me to feel so stagnant. And it's just hard for me to get into anything, to want to do anything, to want to be productive. And I started attributing that to my mental health, which I do think it is a factor. I don't necessarily think being here alone is why I can't do anything, but I don't think being here is helping my mental health. So they're both kind of working against each other. My mental health doesn't help that I'm here, and then being here doesn't help that I have mental health problems. I feel like my main issue with being here is that I feel like I'm lacking as a person in a couple different ways. And one of the ways that and maybe it's not that I'm wondering if I feel like I'm lacking as a person because I'm here, or if these were all already underlying things that I was just there. No, they're not underlying things. They are things that I was struggling with. For example, not being able to have a clear, coherent thought. I used to be able to do that, but I think I got such bad fish brain that it's a lot harder for me to have longer strings of thoughts. And it was already a bit for me to have like longer strings of thought without like side quests within this thought, but at least I was still able to do it. I just got distracted easily, but this is more so not being able to think clearly about the next thing I want to say, and I feel like I'm really struggling with that right now, and it's a reason why I stopped sharing my thoughts as much, because unless I'm really emotional, I can't, let me not say can't, but it's harder for me to talk about my feelings. And I think that's a baby steps thing. Of course I have to do it more for it to get better, but like I'm doing it right now. But I just feel slow, like not on top of my game. Coherent thoughts. What was I saying about coherent thoughts? Well, to go off of that, it's really hard for me to share my emotions that aren't negative. Unless I'm super emotional, it feels like I just can't get anything out. But when I feel happy and more positive, I just really can't express my feelings into words. And this is something I knew I struggled with, but even more so now, I just feel like I'm not able to say much on either end. Like I feel like I've just shut down mentally. I feel like I've shut down mentally. It's hard. It's hard having a transition like this when you were doing so much and you felt so productive and like life was changing. I really felt like life was changing for me. And I don't know if I feel so, that feeling of feeling shut down, I don't know if that's the case because it feels like reverting. I do feel like I have reverted. I do feel like I'm back to square one a lot of it. I'm not doing much in Chicago. I was dancing, I was meeting people, going to events, doing things like all the time, working. And now I'm working-ish. I say ish because it's like 5 hours a week. And I'm dancing once a week, if that. Maybe every other week, depending on the class or what they have at the studio that's 30 minutes away. When the studio I was going to in Chicago was literally right down the street from me. And the other one was a 15-minute drive. Now it's 30 minutes. This transition is hard. The transition of going to a new place is hard. The transition of being in a transitional phase is hard. And I feel like that just calls for like a resurgence. Is that the right word? It sounds like the right word. I'm gonna make sure it's the right word. But I feel like it calls for just something new, a breakthrough, and that's what I'm trying to work on, a breakthrough. That's what I'm trying to work on. Something to make me feel like this was all worth it. And you know, maybe it's just gonna be worth it for me in the way of truly understanding that things are temporary and you really should appreciate where you are when you're there. Whatever time period you are, you should really appreciate it for what it is, not take things for granted, because I'm really feeling that. I'm really feeling that right now. Did I take Chicago for granted? Absolutely. There were things I didn't like about it, and I wouldn't want to live there forever, no. But would I love to be there right now? Yes. And it's like pointless. There's no use in looking back at things that are in the past, but I can't help but be a little solemn. Just be a little reminiscent of such things. I don't know what the point of me talking is. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make is. There is no point I'm trying to make. I'm just trying to... Oh my gosh, my hair. I have to fix it. I haven't flat ironed it in a couple days actually, which is really good. But now you can tell. So I'm gonna fix it. I just want to start talking again, start talking about my feelings. I want to be more serious about the things I want to be serious about, because there's nothing else to do but really go all in on my goals, and I have to make my goals and I have to think about my goals, but I really have to get myself out of a slump. because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to help myself, honestly. I don't know how to help myself feel better. That doesn't just involve completely taking me out of the environment I'm in now, but I'm trying to really work on where my head is at right now. That's it. I have to straighten my leave out. This is the makeup I do on a day-to-day basis, honestly, without the concealer. That is just what I add if I want to have an extra oomph, but everything else is what I do, except the concealer, unless I'm feeling a little saucy, feeling a little spicy. Yeah, I don't know. I just think expressing yourself is important, and I'm trying to express myself and say my feelings and talk through how I'm feeling and say the thoughts I'm having out loud. And eventually I'll get better and better and better.